Hey guys, I'm back. I just want to document this live breakout as it's happening. So here you can see we have kind of an ascending triangle pattern, constantly not being able to break out from this area and higher lows. Right now we finally broke out from this area, and what might happen, a good chance of happening, is typically after you have a breakout, you bounce back down from where you were having from where the price was originally having a hard time breaking out of. So you break out, you come back to this, let's say $45, $60 level, $45.70 maybe even, and then you you kind of have that as a new launch pad to break out from again in the future. So let's see if that's what plays out. I wanted to start this a little earlier, a live YouTube stream, but I don't really know how to do it yet, and I was getting stuck, so I was watching a video on it, and then I was thinking, let's not waste any time. I will just make it a simple screen record and upload it later. In the future, I'll get the YouTube down a bit better, but I'm kind of struggling with that at the moment. So yeah, let's just follow up with this one. It should be really exciting. We have some other cryptocurrencies just exploding right now. We have Ethereum, 8.7%. It was already at 11% yesterday. So let's see around this breakout how far the move was. So you can see here 17.79% in just 2 days, actually under 24 hours. This is a 4-hour chart. So we have roughly this candle, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. So maybe more like a day and a half actually that went into this breakout, 17.8%. Pretty huge. We have EOS at 11.6% breakout. Very nice. This pattern is a bit different. This is more or less a bullish channel. It's commonly referred to. I typically don't trade these simply because I'm always looking for a bear flag or something else, and these will usually get me off guard. It's not as clean, although this one really is very clean, but it's just not my pattern that I trade very often. However, it's really nice, especially this one. You can really kind of see here's a little fake out, but overall the pattern stays very consistent. And what's actually really cool about this one is if you zoom in right here, you can see almost a perfect last chance to kind of get in before the breakout. So failed kind of breakout attempt here and holds its highs, and in this area it's a very nice potential time to buy, and we're already up around 10% from that area. So yeah, pretty nice runs we're having on this Monday morning. Across the board, you can see almost everything is up. What's surprising though is the shorts aren't really down. So this is BTC USD shorts on Bitfinex, and they're not really going down too much. So it's kind of interesting to see how this is neutral. Actually, yesterday, or yeah, I think it was yesterday, we had a serious run up. It was about 10% the shorts were up, but the price in general of the cryptocurrencies were not down. So it's a bit weird to try to have a correlation between this and the crypto chart. There are several correlations. I talked about this in my last weekly trade review, but basically when the extremes are really high, then there is typically a reversal. So right around these areas, we had key reversal areas in the market. I can just actually pull up the BTC chart right here below. And for example, when we had this really big short level right here, the short interest was really high. There was a high chance of a squeeze, and that's exactly what happened. The beginning of April, we had a nice run up when all of the shorts were getting squeezed and they were covering their positions. And then it wasn't again until the shorts were up here again, and we had a little less clean, but we had this blue flag kind of indicates when this high was. So after that, we had about a 15-day long run up, and I've noticed these things kind of happen again and again. So every time we are very high, I put a blue flag, and also a red flag when we are low. A red flag indicating that there's not a lot of shorts and that shorts may pick up and put on selling pressure. So you can see here, for example, when the shorts were near this trend line, the price did go down for the next, let's say, roughly, half a month right here. after the shorts ran up. And then again, the shorts were up here, and a potential squeeze could have happened. But you know, the price has gone down so much, 80% plus off its highs across most currencies, or I should say 70-90% to give better range. So the rundown has slowed, and we're kind of starting to consolidate again as the selling pressure kind of loosens. So we have a lot of really interesting kind of conditions, I would say, coming up now, where the shorts are closing more and more of their positions, and the price doesn't keep going down. It may be indicating that we are getting close to the end of this bear market, at least when it comes to seeing lows. It doesn't mean a bull market is going to begin, and we can easily be in this bear market for another, year and a half before we start really working our way up and potentially seeing new highs. So what this might just indicate is that for now we might be seeing the lows slow down. So basically, if you go over here to the Bitcoin chart, right now in December, around mid-December, December 17th, we had this huge low. Actually, December 15th, we had the biggest low at 3,000 kind of $100 roughly, and then we had a little run and then kind of going back down. So we might be, this may be the big low that we were all waiting for, that major capitulation. It's really hard to tell, and it's really kind of a guessing game. So it's not too important to put a lot of worth on if this is the low or not. We might see another one, but the selling pressure has definitely slowed down. There's a lot of buyers in this area, and the risk reward is just not as exciting, I would say, for a long-term short position as it used to be. Let's go back to Litecoin. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this position plays out. Right now, we have not broke yet from this former high, and that's exactly what we're going to need to do to continue the bullish momentum. So coming back to the Litecoin chart, you can see that we did bounce off roughly this area, but the bounce didn't really hold. So we're kind of just hanging on here, kind of forming a new high, but actually holding it, and that's a big important part. So if we break this area, we might be in for a longer term potential consolidation around this price. There are a lot of buyers, but there are also a lot of sellers. So we'll see what happens. Right now it's a bit of a tug of war, but if we really break down from this area, we might have a longer term, more or less trend reversal, where we may be seeing this level kind of hold out longer, and a reduced chance of a real breakout today. So we're definitely going to be following it closely. I do have a position, a long position right now again. For those of you guys just tuning in, it's 207. I have 270 Litecoin. And I bought that at 47.11 and then 43.11, 43.19 yesterday evening. So where is that? Right, even further back, so you wouldn't see it on this chart. But yeah, the average is just about 43.15 between these two, since the position sizes were fairly even. The entry amounts for 43.19 and 43.11 respectively. So I'll pause this video for now, and we'll be coming back to it very soon as we see more action happening. I'm going to quickly resume this cast because it looks like we are breaking out again. So we're at 46.29, and we were just at 45.94, and we're kind of in this little area and not really sure if we're going to break out or break down, but it's a really fun one to watch. So if we go, let's say maybe to the 15-minute, we can kind of see the amount of action we're seeing on I would say, a very intraday amount, and we're kind of moving up and down between this 2% range, but it's not like one of these green candles that we saw over here where it just shoots up. It's kind of, you know, fighting its way up. What is really interesting though is, or really good, it's not one of these green candles that shoots up and within, you know, the same few minutes it shoots way below from the starting point. So, or again, like we had over here, this was actually a day trade that I reviewed. Actually, take that back. That was not it. This was a long swing trade. This was the day trade over here. They're so identical though. You can see that. Oh, something is wrong here. Okay, yeah. So you can see I entered here, and then we shot up. We broke out really quickly, and then the price came down just as fast, and I quickly got out right here in this choppiness area. Luckily, I talk about that in the weekly trade review. So go ahead and check that out if you're interested to see me talk a lot more about this trade in a, you know, a 1 minute view chart, so you can really dive into how that trade looks like. Anyway, we are coming up here and constantly making new highs, so this trade is a fun one to be in. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna go ahead and pause this, even though I do think we might be breaking out really soon here. Welcome back, guys. It looks like we might be breaking out here. There's no massive orders coming in, and sometimes a good way to see a breakout is if there's a huge order coming in, like let's say, you know, for this maybe around $300 Litecoin being bought consistently, boom, boom, boom. That's a good sign. Oh, what's this? Oh, here we go. Yep, right here. See, we had 490, 500, so two $500 orders. That's really nice. And now the price is just running. We'll just go ahead and watch this. I could do this all day. So I actually entered this trade again at 43, let's say 15, because there was two entries. So the average was 43.15. So you can see my portfolio started out at $8,932. Now it is at, well, if I sold right now, I would be at 9,635. So this is the power of, you know, a larger day trade and potentially a swing trade. We'll see how long I hold on to this one, if I go overnight or not. I do like typically taking my profits fairly quickly, but we have a lot of upside potential and the momentum is behind us. So I will probably be holding on to this one a bit longer than normal. You can see my entry was right around here. I was hoping we would touch again, but there was just so many buyers. There was a few $3,000 orders in the order book, and I just didn't think we would probably see this line again. So I did get into this position, which I typically say is a bit aggressive and I try to avoid, but this time it worked out really, really nicely, and I don't regret it. As you can see here, I am learning about YouTube live streaming, so hopefully I will be getting some live streams coming to you guys very soon. Right now I needed to download the XSplit broadcaster because I had OVH, but I recently downloaded it, or no, I updated it. Where is it? I don't even see it. Anyway, I updated the OVH, and then it for some reason stopped working, which was really annoying, and I tried to fix it. I spent about 2 hours watching tutorial videos on how to fix it, but nothing did the trick, unfortunately. So I'm just going to get this new one, XSplit. I hear pretty good things. Sweet. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Remember, guys, for those of you who do not know, I post everything that I do trade related, or my live trades, or when I enter and exit a trade, in the Discord chat. So if you're interested, make sure to check out the Discord chat. There is a link to that in the video description below. really looks like we're going to have a clean breakout. A lot of the other coins are running, and finally we have other coins catching up. I mean, everything from Neo, Cardano, all shooting up very nicely. Binance coin obviously is going to be a straggler today. Typically Binance coin is a hedge coin, so it goes up when the market goes down, and it goes down when the market goes up, simply because people put their currency in this currency, which is oftentimes referred to as a stable coin, even though it's definitely not a stable coin, but it's simply a coin that you sell other currencies for on Binance platform. And the Binance platform is one of the biggest crypto exchanges, if not the biggest one. I'm not entirely sure. So oftentimes the Binance coin is used as a as a hedge against a bear market. So yeah, we are moving. Price is still going up. You can definitely see that the crypto market moves a little slower than, I would say, your average small cap crypto. The crypto market, I mean the small cap equities, so like anything from a penny stock to anything I would say maybe under $5. If you day trade in equities, you'll notice that in the market open is extremely volatile. So for 30 minutes, roughly at 9:30, the market moves, can move like 20%. It's really absurd with these small caps, and that's kind of what I came from as a day trader, and I'm still a little biased towards those things. It took me, I would say, like a half a year to shake off a lot of my habits, because I was really used to that volatility, and now I kind of had to learn how to take a back seat and really relax and kind of just watch how these things fold out over time. I mean, I've been in this trade since yesterday. That's something I used to never do with equities, and you can see that this has just been going on for 3 hours here. Pretty exciting. Actually, this morning when I was making the weekly trade review, we had this big breakout, and then what else did we have? Yeah, during this time I was filming, and right around here I started editing. I'm almost done editing the video, so that's going to be live soon. And then I'm going to make this video live right after I make the weekly trade review live. So this is going to be the moment of truth. We're going to have a lot of resistance around this area, because what is easy and everyone looks at is what happened right to the left, what just happened before. And you can see that what happened before was this fake out. We had a run up, consolidation, a little bull flag right here, tried to run past it, did not work, got rejected, and that's what created this longer term, I would say, bear channel. Because we did not get past this point. So are we going to see a double top here? Is this going to be a double top and then we just kind of consolidate for another, I don't know, week or so? Or are we going to break out from this level? This is going to be a really interesting thing to see what happens. And right now we are reversing a little bit. There's a bit of profit taking going on. We might come down to this 46.30 level and potentially bounce off of it for another try to break through it. But only time will tell. It's pretty much a guessing game at this point. I'm going to stay in the trade until we have maybe a sign of a second rejection. Sweet. I will pause the recording now for a little bit, just so I can get back to my video editing, and as we kind of see some new action, I will start it again. Welcome back, guys. So let's see here. This is where I kind of left off with you. We are seeing this continuous downturn, and then we broke a little bit even further down. But in all, we held our lows. So you can see here the lows were always kind of higher. So that's a really good sign. Right now we're trying to break out again. So this is going to be a fun one to watch. Here on the 1 hour chart, you can kind of see what happened. We had this nice upticks, all these nice upticks. Then we kind of came towards this former resistance level, and we got completely rejected. And right now we're going to be retesting it again. There's a lot of buyers, but again, there's a lot of sellers. Let's see if we can find big orders coming through. That's usually a confirmation that we might be going in one of the directions, depending if they're buyers or sellers, or buy orders or sell orders. There's just a lot of activity in this order book. It's extremely fun to watch. And you can also see that the buyers are, this is kind of like a chasing formation where people are always putting an order in front of someone else, Let me get the activity, let me get the activity. So it kind of creates a cliff-like shape, while the the sellers are constantly being eaten away, and the shape is a bit more, we break through a support level, we run up, we have another resistance level, I meant to say, so we break through a resistance level, kind of like this one, and then it gets back into this kind of slow, less seller territory. So it's like less seller territory, break through resistance level, less seller territory, and that's kind of the general pattern when we're running up. The one bad thing about watching price like this is it's a bit time consuming, so that's why I keep pausing this video, because I'm still editing my weekly trade view that I want to get out for you guys. I'm just kind of editing some sections where I zone out on a butterfly outside the window, or I basically just lose track, so I just gotta kind of tie those together. In the future, I'll probably be live streaming these just to make it a bit quicker for myself. The editing does usually take a bit extra because you also have to render it, so it takes, a good 3-4 hours. Just pure rendering, editing, uploading, or editing, rendering, uploading. That is better just to avoid and leave some of the mistakes in there. I'm sure you guys won't mind, but that way I can get content to you guys quicker. Yeah, really just quicker, and ideally more content, because I won't be overwhelmed the rest of the day editing all this stuff. So this really looks like we're going to see a breakout. We might see another dip back down here. I wouldn't be surprised. Hopefully we don't break this 50, 45, 60 level. That would be a little disheartening. I would probably have to close the position if we did that, but let's see what happens. Alright, I just came back from a little grocery run, and I logged back in, and basically this is when I was gone right here. I left when we were having this little reversal, and I just got home, and I'm seeing that we might have a nice little breakout. I held through this because all the other ones were holding their highs. You can see Ethereum, for example, we kind of didn't just crash down like that. Held our highs, everything is holding our highs. Right now, other things like Bitcoin Cash are massively breaking out. I mean, 20% up on the day. This is huge. So there's a good chance that Litecoin will also run. Litecoin is actually one of the smallest gainers today, or I would say maybe in the medium range. There's a lot in the 3 to 5%. So can't complain about 7%, but we're definitely not at the 8% or 20%, I should say, with some other ones. Ethereum now is kind of topping out around 10%. Let's see if they can run further, but it'd be crazy cool if we can get Litecoin to hit over 10%, or maybe even into the 15% area. So just kind of checking the level 2. No massive orders really coming in. Some $100 orders. Sorry, I'm like winded right now. I kind of ran home. 120 plus orders. Oh, here we go. Here's the break. We're getting some nice orders coming in now. Boom. Let's see if we're going to break out from this high, 46.87. This will be really interesting. Let's go bring this chart over. We're going to need some huge orders to fulfill this. This is about easily $5,000. I mean 5,000 coins that are going to have to get shipped through. You can really see the resistance is quite massive. Right at 85 alone, we're seeing you can buy 4,000 coins. we're getting huge orders coming in. This is probably a bot, 25, 25, 25. 897 right there sold. So we have to go through $206,000 USD worth of Litecoin to break through this resistance level. And right now, it looks like we're doing it. This is what I mean by a $10,000 order doesn't really affect the market. We just did almost $250,000 in trades in the last 2 minutes here. So that kind of shows you the power of these larger coins. A little bit of selling going on. This is the big moment. Are we going to rip through it? A lot of coins trade with the rest of the market. So if Bitcoin is up, for example, other coins are up as well. Looks like we are not cracking it, but we might just come back. This could be a quick retest. Are we going to double top right now, or are we going to break out? Like you hear me say a lot of the times, and especially in the weekly trade reviews, I don't trade breakouts because I'm just not good at it. I would have bought here or maybe here and then been faked out and all of a sudden up and down 1%. It's not my game. Some people are really good at it. I typically like to average in these areas, but it's all about your style. With trading equities, I didn't mind buying breakouts because you typically knew within a minute or 30 seconds what the game is. But here it's oftentimes a much bigger waiting game. I think there's going to be a lot of eyes on Litecoin simply for the fact that it's not as high as the other ones, even though Litecoin typically moves much more than the other ones. And I'm going to have to probably say it has something to do with this over 40% move that it had on Friday. That was absurd. So the other ones are probably catching up a bit more than Litecoin. Oh man, I just missed this. We did break out. We hit 47. Just had the camera on a quick pause while you can see everything. I mean, this is a perfect stair stepper. We might be near the end of this run up, so I'm probably going to be taking profits somewhat soon. But let's see if we can give Litecoin just a bit more of a chance to maybe break it past this 47. 10% area. You can see this one's just about topping out. Litecoin definitely should have a bit more room to run. Let's see how much it can do. We might see exhaustion, like I said before, somewhere in this area right above this blue line. Typically, a breakout is similar to the first length, which is right around here. And then we move this one starting from the bottom back to the up. So maybe around 52 we can potentially see some activity. You can see that there's just pure resistance, huge resistance at 50 bucks. I mean, just massive. So we probably won't hit this. We'll probably start slowing down before that just a bit. And what might happen is there's some serious profit taking that happens right around here, and then we actually finally do that second run. So I probably will do actually roughly the same thing and also be taking profits right around there. This will be an interesting resistance area to see if we can break through it. Check out. This is $250,000 right here. Can we break through it? 999 Litecoins were just purchased. We are eating away at this 5. Oh man, we just broke through it. Well, I think I just became a high-valued client based on this one trade alone. It's getting a little shaky. Here's my order at 48.32 or 48.38. There might be a bit more room for profits, but there's also loads of downside. So if I can get out new here, I'd be pretty happy. I don't know if it's going to happen. Can we get past this 48 level again? It'd be really interesting to see. What I do know is we're holding our highs, and there might be a second push coming up. These are massive small intraday movements. I think Litecoin definitely has a bit more room to run, but it's definitely not easy holding, not getting out at this point. You can see at the $50 there is just a ridiculous amount of resistance. We're still having big buy orders come through. We're holding our highs. I think we might have another run on our hands. $881. Coins were just purchased. Huge potential for a little bit of a second move up to the upside. I will be selling pretty quickly though, if this happens. I don't believe in perfect entry and perfect exits. I like to get the meat of the move. I've already got more than the meat of the move, so I don't want to try to get more than I bargained for. However, just based on pure technicals, there is more room to run here. We might form a bit of a bear flag here before a further breakout as well. But anytime you have over 10% profit, the steam can loosen quickly and the price can turn around pretty fast against you. So you don't also want that. If we can get out anytime, I'd be pretty happy in this area. That was pretty intense. You guys see that massive flash to the downside? Not entirely sure what that even was. Ooh. Let's check how the other coins are doing. I think they're all just about near exhaustion, so if we can get out of this trade, I think any time now would probably be pretty good. We might see a second bounce here, and I'll try to get out on any sort of bounce. So unfortunately we didn't get out here. I had something for 48.30 area, but missed that one. Looks like we're having a little bounce right now. Let's see if we can get out of this trade. And then we will nicely capture the meat of the move. Wrong coin. Basically entry here, exit right around here, up a little further down, 47.50. This could be our exit right here. However, we would have to shoot through this 2000 level. I mean, this 47.50 where there's 2000 plus Litecoin sellers. So that's a bit of a resistance right here. Right here, this. We could front run this order and probably put it at 45 and get out. It's crazy how fast the price moves after a big breakout like this. This is a pretty big drop here for BCH. It probably means that we might be over. Every time you can kind of see how these are just dwarfed in comparison. Litecoin was playing a little weirder than the other ones. I was expecting for us to break out past 50. I wasn't exactly trying to really get a great exit. I still feel like Litecoin has a lot of room to run, but it seems like some of the momentum has slowed down regardless, and that's not going to help it break out the 50 level. You can see how there was support that came in towards the $47 price range, because this is formerly where we had to break out from again. Yeah, it's about 3% right here. That's actually 3% would be a very nice day trade. So 3% is not a small amount of gains. It's actually very, very volatile. What we might actually be seeing now is a bit of a ascending channel short pattern forming, which is one of my favorite short patterns. Obviously not 100% sure, but it would look like something like this in a way. Let me draw it up. Right, so we would have basically This is the initial crack of momentum. This is when the bullish move is over, and then we have a little bounce here, and then it comes back down roughly towards this line. This actually might come back down and test it again, and then come back up, touch it. Typically 3 touches. It doesn't do any more on the bottom line, and then right around here is either a good time to short or get out of any long position you might be in. And that's what we're going to try to do at the 47.54 level. And then what also would be a great opportunity is either short up here or short down here. Actually, when we break this, come back for a little bounce to retest this level and then continue the downtrend. So either would be great short. I can't short on Coinbase. I have a video about my shorting account Bitfinex, how it was closed, unfortunately, simply because I had a US account, but that's no problem. There are many ways around it, and there's many ways I could short again. I just have not had the time to set up a shorting account, which is completely fine. So, there's many long trading opportunities, so I'm going to be sticking to that for now. So I'm going to pause the video, see how this plays out, and we'll come back in a few moments. Okay, so the price is moving again. We're getting pretty close to this $57 level. And you can see, so my limit order to sell is right around 50, was it, did I say 57? Yeah, 47.57. So just a bit, no, a bit up. Right here. So we'll see what happens. My entry should also be here somewhere. There's my entry. This will be interesting. Right now it's kissing this big order that we have to take out, but looks like we might have potentially some problems. Oh, we took it out. So I'm next, and here I go. Time to end this trade. Boom, gone. And I am entirely out. Let me refresh the page. I will move over my exit right here, 57. Let's see how far this chart follows, or the price action follows the chart. This is always interesting to see what happens after a trade. Oh, look, we're running up, so much for my ascending channel pattern. Maybe, who knows, maybe it's not going to break out and come back. Either way, I'm super happy I'm out of this trade. Check this out, $9,882. If you remember in the beginning of this video, we were at around $9,100, and actually when I originally started the position, we were at an even lower, it was at 8,900 and roughly 50. So here I'm going to put in my my calculations. So I started the trade at $53.15 and I ended the trade at $47.57 for a 10% gain and $914 profit. So not too bad at all. Very cool here. Really happy with my exit. We might shoot up again. We might go much higher. I might actually be looking into get into another trade, especially if we come down and hit some major support areas again and again. Right now there's a lot of risk, and I would say a lot more risk than potential upside. So I'm pretty happy with basically being done for trading of the day, unless I see a really great opportunity. Otherwise, I'm going to definitely not touch this, because at this point it's really easy to get some serious FOMO and get into a trade somewhere around here, and then before you know it, it crashes and you're down 5%, and either you gave back half of your earnings, you even lost more money, or you have a negative day even though you could have been positive on the day. So that's not really something that I want to kind of what's a good word for it? I guess you could say teach or recommend, or especially if you're a beginner trader, right now you would be playing with fire, and it's not a strategy that will make you consistently profitable. So try to avoid that. This is actually pretty cool. We can kind of watch this, how it plays out. I really do think we might have an ascending channel. Oftentimes there is a bit of a breakout or a fake out. And then this channel continues. What also might have happened is I just suck at drawing lines, and the real pattern is a bit more like this. So that could be a bit more realistic. Either way, at this point you're playing for a few cents. You're either getting out at 66 or maybe 88 if you're really lucky. Maybe you're gonna live and see another breakout. Either way, this to me isn't really worth it anymore. I'm pretty happy to get out at one of these little peaks, because when the price crashes, it's gonna crash hard, and I don't want to be part of it. You could see a lot of other coins that were up 22% just a few minutes ago are now at 19%. This one's at 15%. This was also at 20% not too long ago, and they're crashing hard. Momentum is slowing down. People are taking profits just like I did, and there is no reason to try to squeeze out an extra penny and then risk losing much more. It looks like my computer is also done with trading because it's not loading anything anymore. I hope this video is still recording. We're about an hour into this video, so I'm definitely going to be editing it up just a little bit so you guys don't have to watch an hour-long trade. But it is pretty cool to watch, I must say that. Let me refresh this. Page. This actually could just be my Wi-Fi. I live in Europe, and Europe has probably the worst Wi-Fi in the world. I don't know what it is. I think it's just old technology here, and it gives me high blood pressure, but that's just how it is. The worst part, I must say, about the internet though is I have the best package. I have the like glass fiber, 200 megabytes a second, and most of the time my internet just doesn't work. And what's even funny is it's not just me. It's I was at a co-working space. Their internet kept on dying. I mean, it was almost a daily issue. And all my friends here constantly report me similar problems. So it's interesting how so if you ever have internet problems and think you are cursed, don't worry, I am also cursed. I would love to show you guys kind of how this trade ties out. I think this is a really important part, and that's why I have not ended the video yet. I really like to show kind of, or take a closed trade to learn exactly what could have been done differently. But right now we're just not really getting that opportunity. I will, however, update the Discord chat so all of you traders in the chat know exactly what's going on. Closed 207 LTC. Oops. At, what was it? I already forgot. 47.57, I believe it was. Yep. Oh, now Discord doesn't even work. So this is kind of the story of my life. So I'm just going to write it here. Closed. So I'm going to go over here and quickly copy this into the Discord chat so all of you guys, all you traders know what's going on. And then I'm also going to just put this in my trade journal so I have it documented for myself. And And here you go, here you see it, the ascending channel short crack. This is exactly what I was talking about. So we bounced 1, 2, 3 times. Actually, this is, you could even say this is 4 times, but looks to me like more of a clean 3, and we cracked it. Now what may happen is the price bounces back up, touches this area, and then continues its descent into oblivion. Anyway, this is not something I want to be touching right now. This is a high risk long if I took it right now. So I'm really happy about this exit. Unfortunately, I didn't get my exit here, but it's completely fine because you don't know how far one of these runs up, and you don't want to also take profits way too early. So I typically like to take profits after you know, I try to squeeze out in here. If I miss this, this is also a fine place to take profits. Really nothing wrong. The most important part, like I always say, is the meat of the move, and this is the meat. I would say, you know, anything from here roughly to here, this is the general area you want to get into. So pretty stoked. I'll leave you guys at that. Looks like the price is crashing now. Great exit. I'm pretty happy about that. Entry, couldn't complain. There is a lot more going to be coming up this week. It's just overall fire out there. The market is so exciting right now. And yeah, let's stay tuned for more trades. Thanks for watching, guys. Ciao, ciao.